Hi everybody, how you doing? Welcome back to my channel. John Wilson here, and in tonight's video I want to speak to you about two things really. I want to talk to you firstly about Jeffree Star and whether he is promoting the misuse of drugs on his channel, and the second thing I want to speak to you about is the trolls within his comment section and other comment sections of other videos that seem to think it is okay to berate people who have sensitivities to the subjects in clothes. So let's get started. Today I watched a video by Jeffree Star. It was a 5.95 versus a 125 video, whatever. I'm going to leave the link of the video down below. What was really interesting about the video is that within 2 minutes Jeffree had decided that he would pull out a pipe, load it with marijuana and smoke that product in the video. Now, a few things to note. There was nowhere in the description box that said there was going to be any usage of a marijuana product. The second thing is there was nowhere in the thumbnail that said that. And the third thing is there was nowhere in the title that said that. It was just something that he did in the video. Now, I'm going to straight up say right now, before people pause the video, get in my comment section and start to bash me. Firstly, I don't have any beef with Jeffree Star on this particular subject. Secondly, these are my thoughts on the matter. This is my opinion and I'm entitled to that. And thirdly, this is not a bashing video on anybody that uses a marijuana product. I respect your right to do so and I respect Jeffree's right to do so. What I really want to think about is some of the comments that were made in his comment section. A few comments were, questioning whether YouTube is the right place to be using a marijuana product quite so openly when you're talking about makeup product and makeup products. And I have to say, I got into the rabbit hole of when is the right time to use a marijuana product, what do people think, and it got me thinking about a few different things. First off, culturally, the usage of marijuana products or smoking weed varies from country to country. As a YouTuber that is watched worldwide, I think really you have to be a bit sensitive to whether that is socially acceptable and legal in other countries. I did see a comment and I will leave the video below. Please just go and read the comments. They will be there for you to look at yourself. I did see a comment from someone saying, I just watched him smoke marijuana. Am I going to be in trouble with the police? I suspected that this person was a young person. If it wasn't a young person, it was certainly somebody taking the mick and trying to be a bit funny about the subject. The second thing that I noticed was that a lot of people were defending his right to use marijuana products and deflecting the responsibility of the offence that has been taken back to the person who's taking the offence. And there's a few things that I see flawed with this. First off, Jeffree Star, whether you like it or not, has young people watching his videos, and that was addressed in some of the comments. Some people said young people shouldn't be watching Jeffree Star. Where are their parents? Their internet should be monitored. I just want to address something real quickly for you. I don't know if anybody has worked it out, but some young people don't have parents. Some young people are in care, and cared after children are the most vulnerable in society. And if you think that cared after children have the parental guidance that in the 2.4 family setup that you imagine these young people sitting in their bedrooms, in their little houses with privet hedges outside, living the perfect life with a car in the driveway, that's not the case. Some kids are in care, some kids don't have that parental guidance, and they are watching Jeffree Star smoking weed. Secondly, even with parental guidance, let's imagine the young people in the houses with the privet hedges and the car in the driveway and their mum and dad downstairs. A lot of times adults don't actually know what influencers are. I know that when I was young, my mum was an older parent. My mum was 35 years old when she had me, so by the time I got to late teens, I certainly knew how to run rings around my mum and make her think that anything that was mischievous, that I shouldn't be up to, actually wasn't a really bad thing at all. And young people are going to be savvy enough and switched on enough to be able to do that. There was an argument where they said there is alcohol consumption, cigarette consumption, and none of that influences young people. Well, I'm just going to say to you, in my experience, it does influence young people, and whilst you might dismiss the usage of marijuana on a YouTube video in a young person and make it somehow their responsibility, Jeffree really should have a responsibility there, and he should take some responsibility as being a beauty influencer. Let's not forget, this guy gets paid a shitload of money to make videos for companies to recommend their products. He has his own brand that is very much pink popish, geared towards young people. He doesn't say his website's 18 plus. His website is open for anybody. So why would his YouTube channel clearly state this content is for adults, it's adults only? You and I both know, despite the fact you might play dumb, that YouTube is not like that. You will find Jeffree Star smoking pot right next to Dora the Explorer videos on YouTube. That is the fact of the matter. The second thing that I really noticed was the pushing of the blame back to the person who was taking the offence. And this is really what I want to get right into, and I want to delve a lot deeper into. I think it is irresponsible that Jeffree Star does smoke marijuana on his channel, but do you know what? It is his channel. He can do whatever the shit he likes. I don't care. Personally, for me, culturally, it's illegal in my country. I'm next to Amsterdam, where it is socially acceptable and it's recreational. Different horses for different courses. Different people feel differently about different things, but when you have a worldwide stage, you're a beauty influencer, you have to take some responsibility. The other thing that I noticed was that people were almost selling the benefits of marijuana use, saying it is not addictive, coffee's more addictive, medicinally it's absolutely fine, and without using the product and looking in depth at studies, that is the case, maybe. However, not every country and every culture sees it like that, and not every family dynamic sees it like that. Another thing that I want to touch on about the family setup and Jeffree Star's presence on YouTube is that, has anybody ever considered that young people might actually be sitting in their bedroom watching YouTube, trying to distract themselves from their stoner parents that are sitting downstairs? That may very well be the case. So for him to normalise the usage of marijuana in such a public place, in such a blasé way, when actually, his video was about foundation or primer or whatever it was, and trying to normalise the usage of that particular product when a young person's looking for beauty tips, that's what they were there for, really strikes me as very irresponsible, and actually the people in the comments section had a very good point. So the whole point of this video is not only just to give my tuppence worth, and I think he shouldn't be doing what he's doing on his video, and I know that some people are going to come for me in my comment section, that's totally fine. What really pissed me off and what really ground my gears was people calling out other YouTube users, subscribers, and calling them snowflakes. And I just want to tell you how much I fucking hate that word and the reasons why. You should never, ever, ever, ever call anybody a name because they have a different sensitivity to you. And I'll tell you some reasons why I think that. As a human, I always try and think about things from other people's point of view. And one young person reached out to me, a girl, by Twitter, and she had said in my DMs, people are using the word snowflake on this particular video. She'd spoken about it a week ago. She found a perfect example from last night's video, and she drew my attention to it, which got me sucked into the world of Jeffree Star and his marijuana usage. But I found the comment that she was speaking about specifically, and the comment went something along the lines of, if you don't like marijuana usage, then you are just a snowflake. And for her, that really triggered her. And it's not because she's sensitive to marijuana usage or the promotion of marijuana, but actually She herself has had some family issues in that her sister used the drug recreationally. Something terrible happened to her sister, and she is now in a situation where she is paralysed very, very poorly and is in care of her family. It significantly changed the person's life who had been involved in the usage of marijuana and whatever else had gone on there. I don't know the details. It's not my business, but something significant happened there. And it now has affected the family dynamics, and everybody in that whole family has been affected by her choices. And for somebody to call this person a snowflake is really, really disgusting, and it needs to stop. It has to stop. Another analogy that I'm going to use is, in the UK here, driving on a mobile phone is absolutely illegal. It shouldn't be done. The police will pull you over. They'll put points on your licence. If you're involved in an accident, you'll probably go to jail, and there is a good chance that you will lose your licence for using a mobile phone. Now, having been to America many, many times, I know that certainly in America people use their mobile phones, and it doesn't seem to be a big problem there. So there are parts of the world where mobile phone usage in the car is perfectly acceptable. And there will be some people who will call me a snowflake and say, oh, you're triggered by mobile phone usage behind the wheel. Let me just point out to you that mobile phone usage, whilst it may not kill anybody if you use your mobile phone behind the wheel, and in terms of misdemeanours, it's not the biggest misdemeanour. However, it detracts your attention, and not having your full attention on the road increases the chances of you having an accident, and accidents, I don't have to spell it out to you, kill people. So, would you then say to a woman who has had her husband knocked over by a person on a mobile phone and killed, who has 2 young children, who objects to you using your mobile phone behind the wheel, regardless of how legal or perfectly acceptable or not a big deal it is to you, would you call her a snowflake? Would you say you're just being sensitive? No, you wouldn't. So why would you, on any subject, call somebody a snowflake? And, you know, I've been speaking to another YouTuber who featured in a video of one of our fellow YouTubers, and somebody has commented in this particular video, and they have used the words developmentally disabled or special needs. So they've described somebody as being special needs, which really, without having any medical training, is really, really rude, actually. Who are you to say that somebody's special needs? That would be a medical professional, or you don't just make up your mind whether somebody is special needs, regardless of whether you think it or not. You just don't do that. Somebody has then pulled them up and said, why the hell are you calling this YouTuber special needs when actually you don't know them? You've watched a few dozen videos maybe, and you're calling them names like that. That's out of order. And this bitch of a woman has said, stop trying to be a special snowflake. I used bitch in the term of being bitchy. She's using this as a tool to justify her actions of calling somebody special needs, when she doesn't know that person. She's probably not medically trained. She's not equipped with enough information to make that decision, and it is downright rude and inappropriate. Give this thumbs up if you agree with some of the things that I've said. Please feel free to share this video. Please, 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 let's use the word snowflake only in winter. Let snowflake, the word to describe sensitive people, die. It's not your job to decide whether somebody's too sensitive. You don't know their story. Let's never use that as a term against somebody. Please feel free to hit me up on social media. I will leave my Twitter, Snapchat and Insta bios down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button right here. I'll talk to you soon. Bye!